All right. Well, I'm excited for our guys this week. We get. I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning. We get our group back together again and get put more focus on this game. And it's there's a lot going into this one, and then I think that our guys are excited about. We're excited about the opportunity that's going to be up in front of us, and there's a lot that we have the ability to get done. I mean, one thing. I mean, it's the last time this group of people is ever going to be together again. That's it. So there's a whole lot on that regard. There's some guys that are going to play their last college football game. They want to get everything they can out of it. We're getting to play a rival game again, and we beat them the last time. So you want like the Dickens to be able to do that twice, and that means you get the opportunity to own it. And it also gives us the opportunity to be the Pac champions, and that means a hell of a lot, in my opinion. And that's where our guys are going to go about it. We're excited as hell to go up there and get after it. And how's that for an intro? Y'all ready to roll?
Coach, how did you guys really spend the bye week? Was that just giving the guys a little bit of rest coming into this one, or has game prep been kind of the priority?
Well, there was a lot of both, and so what I mean by that, very important that we need to get bodies feeling good. It's this time of the year, everybody in the country is dealing with it, so that's nothing new. So therefore, having the opportunity to have a bye week, I thought was good. So we were very careful about how much banging we did. We want their bodies to feel. They should feel better going into this game than they have in quite a while. That was the goal. Also have their minds ready to go and have that be an advantage to them, so they're fresh and ready to compete with one another again for the chance to go be a champion. And then obviously being able to take advantage of the time to get some things going. So we had the opportunity to get some great work done on the field. Their bodies are feeling better than they would have if we'd been through a normal game week and played again yesterday or Saturday. So we want to make sure that worked to our advantage, and then now we need to go unleash it.
It's been a while since the Tulsa game, obviously, but what did you make of Tristan's performance in that fourth quarter?
I think he did a hell of a job. What'd you think? He looked good, didn't he? Yeah, I was good. I was excited for him. That was awesome.
What led to the decision to make that change there in the fourth?
Well, it's like we've kind of been trying to work those quarterbacks throughout the course of the year, and we weren't having a lot of success, and tried a new hand there at that point in time, and thought that was a good thing.
Will he start this weekend?
What's that?
Will he start this weekend?
Who?
Tristan.
At quarterback? Man, y'all got to make up your mind. Y'all remember a few weeks back you were asking me, was Jabari going to start? Now you want to know if Tristan's going to start. We might start all three of them in this game, and that would be a unique personnel grouping. You could have a triple pass. So we'll have to see how that all works itself out. But I'd like to think that we're going to get the chance to see those guys play.
I'd also love to see all three of them in the backfield.
That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
You'd scheme that one up.
Yeah. It'd be a different kind of bone.
You have obviously bring a lot of NFL experience to the table as well, and in that league, there's you're going to play a team twice in a year. It's rare at the college level. What's kind of the outlook prepping for a team that you've already faced, especially when you only have one game removed between them?
Yeah, that was a normal way of life because everybody in the division, you play a home and home, and that's kind of something that we talked about when we went into the game against them the first time. It's a cool situation that you get to go about, and so we've tried to approach it as a cool situation. And you got two teams that are going to know each other pretty well, and two teams that fought their tails off against each other the last time they were together. I think it's got the makings of being a hell of a game. It's going to be pretty cool.
You came here with hopes and expectations of a different sort of experience to fill a different sort of role. Things have changed. What are you going to take away and remember from this year, the way that it unfolded here at Oregon State?
Well, you're right. There was a completely different picture when we rolled in here in February. But life deals you adversity, and you deal with it. But what I will take from this is these players, and we've built some cool relationships with them, and those are going to last. Those are going to last forever. And the way these guys have fought to get themselves through some adverse situations, with the world against them, is what it felt like at a lot of times. And so that's the biggest thing that I'm going to take from this by a long shot. It'd be the relationships with these players and the way they fought to get themselves to a point.
Following up on Tristan, obviously, you aren't going to publicly commit to starting him on Saturday, but speaking to the opportunity for him this week after how he played on that last game, did that essentially earn him the opportunity to compete for the starting job this week?
Well, every one of those guys, I would hope would feel like that. You know, you didn't ask me when that young defensive tackle got a sack in the last Washington State game. That was his first sack of his career. Did that earn him the opportunity to be the starter? It gave him the opportunity to be able to fight his tail off, continue to play, and that would hold true. I hope that holds true for every position on our football team.
Sure, fans are looking for, you know, these little glimmers of interest and I guess hope during these types of seasons, but that's I guess the reasoning why we have.
I completely understand. I was surprised. I'd been disappointed in y'all if you didn't ask those questions. But we're excited to get to this game. It's going to be fun, and I think everybody tune in and or bring their tails up to Pullman and come see us play.
And obviously,
There'll be some seats available, I think.
yeah, for sure. And to get the guys up for a game like this, to go out there and compete in the way that you guys are hoping that they do, what are you trying to instill message-wise this week to make sure of that?
Well, a lot of it is how I started this thing, what it should mean, and what I think it does mean to each of these guys. It's the last chance they're going to get to play together. They've spent a ton of time working to make this be what they were, and it didn't play out the way that everybody had hoped that it would. They get one last chance to be able to compete together, to fight for one another again, to make plays, and each of them opportunities to make plays, the things that they can put on tape so they can either be invited to stay here or get invited to go to somebody's place in the portal. There's a lot to play for there, but I would hope that the love of the game and the brotherhood that they have amongst each other, that alone should be a hell of a lot. And like I said, this group will never, ever be again together. That's an unbelievable deal if you think about it. So I think that we should be pretty juiced up about going and making this happen. And then, you know, when you have an opportunity to beat somebody twice in college football, it's not normal. In the NFL, it's something that you always do. But the fact that it can provide you the championship and they have to deal with that for the rest of their lives and moving into the new Pac-12 together, that means a hell of a lot. It's supposed to mean a hell of a lot in the football world, if that makes sense. And in their worlds, our worlds, I think it's going to be cool. They're going to hear it from me every day anyways. I'm going to tell you that.
Pardon my voice. On the playing someone twice, do you go back to the first film and say, do that? Or do you make any changes? What do you do strategically facing a team a second time?
Well, when obviously you see where maybe you were vulnerable to some things and where you did some things that were good and where they're going to maybe feel that they were vulnerable to some things. And I think you got to attack it in that fashion.
Just staying on that topic, what were some things that you remember about the first time around playing Washington State that you felt like your team executed in order to get the win?
Well, I thought the coolest thing of all in that game was the way they all fought together. All three phases of the game, the guys played their tails off. The offense was chopping wood, trying like hell to find a way to make something happen. They've got a good defense. They play well. They still play well. They're a good outfit there, and they kept banging. And the defense went out there, and, hey, we'll get the ball back for you. And the special teams was taking care of the field position. Those things all went together and made the play to get the ball back and then made the big catch on the sideline and the big run, and then we hit the go-ahead score and then maintain that lead. And then when we had it and got it stopped at the end, being able to, the offense close it out. It was the team taking care of the team. I thought that was cool. And then, it's been fun. You watch the film, you watch the tape of it going back again, and I thought the way that our guys played, there was a physicality, there was a way that they went about doing things that I would like to think they'd be excited to draw upon that again. That's what stood out to me from the first game. It was kind of a battle royale. It was pretty cool.
And going just back to the Tulsa game, you said in the post game that there are little nuggets of like good stuff and bad stuff. This season, this team has really struggled, especially on the road. Looking back at some of those nuggets that you feel like you could do a little bit better, I know you related it back to execution. Just what makes it difficult for this team to execute on the road in a tough road environment?
Well, you have to play well, and it can't matter where it is you're playing, whether we're on that field over there or this field in here, or if we're in the indoor, or if we're in Martin Stadium, or if we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or wherever we are. The game has to be the game. Those fields are all the same size, and that's the way it has to be gone about it. And if you do things right with your eyes and you play full speed and physical, things are generally going to work to your advantage. And I said it then, I don't know that the location had anything to do with it as just regards to being able to finish our jobs the way we need to finish our jobs. And that's kind of been something we've been working at with this team all year long.
Before the Tulsa game, we had a chance to talk with Coach Kreiner for a little bit about his time with you in the past and how much he's enjoyed being here with you again.
I fooled him. Good.
Yeah, bought him lunch or something. I don't know. But as you've gone through this experience and gotten to do this again, the coaching itch, did this scratch that itch for you, or did this make the itch worse? And you'd like to keep this going in some capacity somewhere else in the future? I guess what I'm asking is, what's next for Robb Akey? What are you hoping is next for you guys?
Well, so I guess you're talking about being a head coach again, right? And that was something that, it was, I've loved every job that I've ever had. And I liked being the head coach. And then I liked being the defensive coordinator. And I liked being a position coach again when that came about. And everything that I've had the opportunity to do, I've loved every minute of it. Ever since the day that I was no longer the head coach, I've wanted to be a head coach again because I think you learn a lot of things that there's a lot that went into that. But I think that, yeah, that's something I would like to do again. I'd like to go be a defense coordinator again. I got too much energy. I can't sit around and not do anything. So I guess I'm going into the coaching portal, and so I'm hoping that I'm looking forward to what that next opportunity is going to be. And this is a cool place, but all you can do is all that you can, I guess, is what I'm saying to you there. And but there will be. You'll be stuck with watching me coach guys for a lot of years from here on out because I'm still just a kid, and that's the way it's going to be. The best part about it is the time we get to spend with these guys and the difference you get to make in their lives, and I hope that we have. This situation is nothing like being a head coach. This was a matter of, hey, we got to help these guys, our players, get through an adverse situation and help them build themselves up for the future. It's different than if you built a program and this is your program, or you're building your program and you're going about it. That's night and day difference. There's nothing like it. And I think if you talk to any guy that's been thrown in the interim role across the country, they'll tell you the same thing. It's just a tough scenario, but it is what it is. And the bottom line is anything could happen to you tomorrow in life that you're going to have to deal with. And if we've helped our players be able to be better men, whether it's next year or 10 years down the road or 20 years down the road, that they might do something different, then that would be a hell of a win. And, so I don't know. I don't want to start babbling on you, but, I'm looking forward to what that next opportunity is going to be. And I just assume we didn't have to wait too terrible long. I don't like uncertainty.
Just going back again to that first game against Washington State, from what I remember, it was more of a defensive battle game. Just preparing this time around, knowing that your offense will be a big part in the success in this game again and being able to move the chains. Is it harder knowing that you got three quarterbacks that all have playing time and that could all see the field on Saturday to try and get that connection with the offense? And maybe with the bye week, has that helped the offense come along a little bit faster, maybe recover a little bit more to see that success on Saturday?
Yes. I do think so, yes. I think the time for guys to be able to get feeling better again and be able to get some work done that we were able to do over the course of last week, this weekend, and going into this game week, I think has been very big. I think the fact that we've got three quarterbacks that are talented guys that each have different situations, that could put some stress pretty good on who we're playing against. They got to, be able to plan for some of those things. And it is a good defense that we're playing. It's a good football team that we're playing. They've had some great battles throughout the course of the year. And I look at the way our guys played them. I would think our guys would be excited as hell to go and make this happen again. And so you look in each phase of the game, where are things that, maybe they were vulnerable to things that we've got the ability to attack them with. And then obviously where did we show vulnerability that we have to make sure is shored up. So it'll be, I'm sure the beginning of this game is going to be a prove-it period for both teams. And then it's going to be, let's get a spark lit and get some gasoline put on that fire. And you've heard me say that a lot before, but I'm going to say it again. I think that's what it all leads to be. And that might help it be a little bit warmer in Pullman, too, if we get a big old bonfire built.
Has the criteria for a coach, all the things to be successful, changed from 5, 6, 7 years ago, before the NIL and portal stuff, to what it is now? In other words, to be successful, is it old stuff, or do you got to be someone new, thinking new things to succeed with portal and NIL?
The game has got new wrinkles to it. And so, but I think as a coach, that's part of the thing that intrigues you a little bit too. And having the ability to go attack it. And you have to draw on more interest now to be able to help make some of those things happen. You got to get, there's payrolls that are unbelievable at this point in time. But if you're fighting the same way the people that you're competing against are, then it still comes down to coaching and the relationships you build with those guys, and then being able to make things happen throughout the course of a game, if that makes sense. And, there's part of it. I listen to people. It always amazes me because I listen to guys, all the time to talk about, well, this day and age, well, this generation is different and blah, 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 blah. Well, they said that about us when we were players too. We were different. And I disagree with that. I think kids are still kids. They want to be coached. And if you are a coach, then you coach them that way. Now, our game has changed in that you could be developing somebody for somebody else that can pay them more money to go and play at that place. Well, when 3 years ago, that used to really irritate the hell out of me. And it just happens to be the game that we play. So you just have to do a great job of getting through that, get your players to be the best they can be, because that's what you're here for, to help them be the best them, right? And then if at the end of the year, if somebody's able to do them something that you can't do for them, you got to wish them well. And then you look at your roster and say, is the next guy ready to go? And we keep the young guys developing? Or do we have to get somebody in here that's got more experience, that's maybe able to compete a little bit better? And then that has to be unique to your roster, whoever you are, wherever you are, based on what you left and what you have behind it, if that makes sense. And I know there's a lot of guys that, you see guys, some of these basketball coaches and some football guys that, they don't like the NIL and the portal and those things, and they've gotten out of it because it's just not the same. And it is different. But, I mean, to me, you look at it, well, why not be one of the guys that can master it and hey, here's how you attack this son of a gun, and you make it fit, because each place is unique to where it's at, and you're going to see that you're going to see that change again here in the next few years. If anybody listened to Coach Saban talk on Saturday, it has to get fixed. And so I'd like to be one of the guys that's making a difference in it than be one of those guys that's walking away from it. I don't get that. And so yes, it has changed, but it hasn't at the same time. Did I make that make sense? It's kind of a cool deal. It's a new challenge. You want new challenges.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank y'all. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you in Pulltown.